All rise. Support court with Judge Vanda B is now in session. Justice case number JBB1078, McKinney case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Miss McKinney,
Yes.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, I am here to try to recoup costs that I've incurred with my daughter.
All right.
She's 9 years old. She's been with me since birth, and I'm paying for everything. I've been doing it all on my own.
All right.
Without a problem, but I've been doing it all on my own.
All right. And when you say all on your own, Dad isn't helping out financially at all?
At all.
Okay. And you said your daughter's 9.
Yes.
Is she involved in any type of extracurricular activities? That word always misses me.
Yes, ma'am. Basketball, track and field, and tennis.
All right. Does Dad pay for any of those?
No, ma'am.
How much are the fees associated annually with each one of those?
Annually, probably roughly $4,700.
All right. Is Dad aware that she's in these activities?
Yes.
All right.
All right, folks, brace yourselves because this case is about to get intense. Miss McKinney stands up, revealing that she's been raising her 9-year-old daughter entirely on her own, with zero financial assistance from the alleged father. Today, she's here to establish paternity and ensure her daughter gets the support she rightfully deserves. The judge doesn't waste any time, diving straight into the details of the child's extracurricular activities: basketball, track and field, and tennis, which cost a whopping $4,700 a year. But here's the twist. The alleged father hasn't contributed a single cent. The tension is already thick, and we're just getting started.
The extracurricular activities, does he attend those?
No, Your Honor.
So he doesn't pay for those?
No.
So what is the backstory? I mean, she's 9. So were you all in a relationship previously? Like, what happened?
We were in a situationship for a weekend.
What in the world is that?
Well, it was a little bit more than a one-night stand. It lasted approximately 72 hours. I was on business in Washington, D.C., and he was there for a teacher's conference. I met him at a nightclub. And,
be careful what I ask.
well, listen, the night grew long, and things happened in the next 72 hours. So, yeah, that's the extent of it.
Okay. And you got pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. Was he involved in the pregnancy?
Well, he was definitely there.
Well, no, throughout your pregnancy.
Oh, throughout? No, ma'am.
Okay. So you just literally had the baby, no help from him, nothing like that. Did he show up at the hospital?
No, he was late.
Okay. So did you all have a DNA test done?
No.
Does he know he's the father?
He doesn't think that he is, and he's the only Caucasian that I've ever been with. So.
Okay. So that's where the issue lies.
Now here's where it gets really juicy. Miss McKinney drops a bombshell. Her relationship with the alleged father was nothing more than a 72-hour situationship. Yep, you heard that right. During a business trip to Washington, D.C., they met at a nightclub, and things escalated quickly. Fast forward 9 years, and she's been raising her daughter on her own. The alleged father didn't even show up at the hospital when the baby was born. He was a week late. The judge is clearly trying to make sense of this chaotic backstory, but one thing's for sure, this case is far from simple.
He doesn't believe he's the father, which is why he hasn't given you any money.
But he sent text messages, and he sent happy birthdays, things of that nature. How is she doing? So I believe if he didn't care at all, he wouldn't send those text messages. Now, he's done that for the past 9 years. I've just never seen any greenbacks to follow those texts.
Okay. So when he arrived at the hospital, did he sign the acknowledgement of paternity?
No, Your Honor. When I meant he was late, the baby was already a week old at the time. I was already at home. We'd left the hospital. That's what I mean by late.
Oh, so he didn't show up at the hospital at all?
No, Your Honor.
So he didn't sign the birth certificate or any acknowledgement of paternity or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So you're here today to do what exactly?
Well, I was hoping you would be able to help me, first and foremost, establish paternity.
Okay.
At this point.
All right.
and
Well, we would definitely have to do that before any child support takes place.
of course,
Okay.
of course.
All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him?
No, that's pretty much it. I've just been doing everything on my own. In my heart of heart, I know that he is the father. I have no doubt. I'm just needing assistance.
Okay. All right. All right. Sir,
Yes, Your Honor.
is what she's saying. Now, let me be clear in my questions because I just realized that I probably shouldn't have asked that question like that. Now, bypass all the 72-hour stuff that she talked about, right? Now, she's pregnant.
She was.
Okay, you were not involved in that process at all in terms of the pregnancy.
The alleged father finally gets his chance to speak, and he doesn't hold back. He admits to the 72-hour fling, but argues that Miss McKinney makes far more money than he does, claiming he's a high school teacher earning $660,000 a year. Then, he drops a bombshell. He has a newborn son with his fiancée and is 100% sure the child is his because, well, the baby is white. Yes, he actually said that. The judge's reaction is one of clear disapproval, especially when he goes on to claim that Miss McKinney doesn't need his money and is only pursuing the case out of jealousy. The tension in the room is so thick you could cut it with a knife.
Look, let me just start off by saying that most of what she said is essentially true.
Okay.
Although there's some giant omissions in there and some things that you need to take into account to get the full picture.
Well, does it involve the 72-hour
So
thing?
we were involved approximately that amount of time, yes.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't want to know any specific
Well, don't
details
worry.
about that.
I'm not here to give you the details of it. I'm just here to tell you that we were in an intimate relationship, on and off for about 72 hours, yes.
Okay. So, after you found out she was pregnant, what happened?
Well, first let me add some context to everything before I answer that, Your Honor. She works for the federal government. I'm a teacher. I'm a high school teacher. She
Okay.
makes significantly more money than I do. I make about $60,000 a year. I don't know the exact figure of her annual income, but I know it's a lot more than that. She's in far better position to support her daughter than I would be. And what she's asking for.
You said her daughter, so you truly don't believe this is your child.
I am willing to accept that it may be, but we've not done a DNA test. What she said about being only with one Caucasian man, I have no way of knowing if that's true. She's lied before to me. So don't take, she was honest with a lot of the stuff she said fairly, but here's a big thing she forgot to mention. I have a son of my own. I have a newborn son, and with my fiance.
Congratulations.
What does that have to do with this?
This is
Well, I allowed you
Okay.
the opportunity to speak. This is his time, not you. Was there anything else you needed me to know before I moved over to
I already know he was gonna push my button.
Okay, well, just sit there and don't let him push your button. That's easy, right?
Yes.
Okay, you can do that.
Yes, sir.
All right.
The judge isn't having any of the alleged father's excuses. She firmly tells him that whether or not he had a committed relationship with Miss McKinney doesn't matter. What's important is the well-being of the child. She orders DNA testing to establish paternity and makes it clear that if he's the father, he'll be responsible for child support. Meanwhile, Miss McKinney is doing her best to stay calm, but it's clear she's sped up with his antics. The judge's no-nonsense approach is a much-needed breath of fresh air in this chaotic case.
DNA results. Now, if for any reason the child does come back, well, the DNA test does come back and you are the father, you will have to start paying child support being ordered today. All right?
Can I respond to that, Judge, if I may? We were in what amounted to a long one-night stay.
Right.
We never committed to ourselves to each other. I wasn't even aware that she gave birth until like a week after it happened.
Lies.
No, I was never
I
told.
called you. Miss McKinney,
Yes, Your Honor. It's the lies.
it's the buttons. Woosah. Okay? Now, to your point, I was looking here through this Texas family code looking for where it says that you have to be in a relationship with somebody to not have to pay child support, and it doesn't exist.
Well, she never, said I was under the impression, from what I remember, that she was on birth control. Now, that may be my faulty memory, but I never introduced.
But even still, let's just be clear. Birth control or not, a 9-year-old child is here. These are the facts. A 9-year-old child is here who deserves support, not only from her mother, but from her potential father as well. So we are going to research this matter, get some DNA testing done. So to my original thought, if you are the father, you will start paying child support being ordered as of today. All right? If he is not the father, you can come back to court and petition as many people. Now, don't take that offensive. I'm not saying that you just been with everybody or anything like that. But you can come back and petition as many people as necessary. Because this child, as I just stated, deserves to have the support from not only her mother, but from her potential father as well. So, do you all have any questions about what you're going to do?
No, Your Honor.
No? Okay. And you have to make your daughter available for testing as well.
She's available.
Okay.
She's here.
Okay. So we can go ahead and get that taken care of today.
Oh, yes, we could.
Okay. So we'll reset y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
The judge wraps things up by emphasizing that no matter the personal drama between the parents, the child's well-being must come first. She orders the DNA testing and reminds both parties that the child's needs take priority. Miss McKinney agrees to make her daughter available for testing, and the case is put on hold until the results come in. The video ends with the judge dismissing the court, but the tension in the air is undeniable. This case is far from over, and you can be sure that more drama is on the horizon once those DNA results are revealed.